Hey everybody, forgot to do my video last night. I was so busy. Oh my god, I'm not having a good time transitioning to this, 90 hours a week. Oh, I had it so easy when I was just freelancing for decent sized money. Um, so, yesterday's video, now today's video, was supposed to be on partnership agreements. So, what are you going to consider when drafting a partnership agreement or an operational agreement? I have a quick list of things that you're definitely going to want to include. I just drafted one yesterday, so I can't look at it from my phone. I use my phone for everything. My computer, I have to use my Wi-Fi or my hotspot on my phone to actually get on. So I'm just going to be using what I have from memory, but I do have a list of things that are the most important recommendations for when making an operational agreement or partnership agreement. I'll just go through the list here. First thing is percentage of ownership and your contributions, as well as I have written down as a non-compete clause. But percentage of ownership and their contributions, as well as, amendments on additional contributions or additional partners, how you'll go about allowing that and what that'll affect. The next thing is profit and losses, when and when they'll be distributed, how they'll be distributed. So definitely something to have in writing, the profits and losses. The length of the contract, could be for the life of the company, could be just for a year. That's something that's going to be definitely included into the contract. Decision making, what gets voted on, group, individual decisions, dispute resolution, how to handle them. These are all things that go in the decision-making process, and you will have to answer a few questions and put in a few different clauses for that. So keep that in mind for decision-making. Who's going to have what say on what particular matter? How will you guys go about making the final decision? And if there is a dispute, how will you resolve that dispute? Big things. I mean, obviously no one thinks of these things until they happen, and that's why this, is something in place of a roadmap to when something does happen, we have some rules to follow. So then, of course, the binding authority of the contract or the debt of the contract. That's something also I'm trying to think of what they really mean by that. The binding authority is probably going to be meaning by the state. They already mentioned the length, so binding authority, what type of authority will this have over, there's going to be certain types of authority that, this is going to deal with. So definitely understand the different jurisdictions that this contract will be authorizing or binding. So the next part is buy and sell. So what happens when you want to buy more of your company from someone, or someone wants to sell their company? What if someone dies, or if you bring in a new partner? These are going to be definitely handled into the operational agreement about buying and selling, and it's a very important part, especially if you're going to be, bringing investors in later on. So modifying the agreement is the next one. If you're going to change the agreement in the future, what steps, what things are going to need to be in place before you change them, or how are you going to change them? What circumstances, what is the process about, going about modifying the agreement? These are definitely things that, very important segments of this contract. And then dissolution, what happens when the company closes? What does this contract, do? It's going to explain, how it closes, who covers what losses, or not losses, but expenses, who gets a split of what, whose responsibility is what. These are things that are going to be in place when, even unforeseeably, if something happens and we need to close the company, these rules will help with that. Roles and responsibilities, the last part. These things will matter. Some roles that everybody's gonna need is accounting, payroll, HR, and stuff like that. So something else to keep in mind. So besides that, those really do cover a big gist of everything. Non-compete clauses, of course, are when you go in business with somebody and the partnership doesn't work out, you guys want to split ways, the person that split ways won't be able to go into that same business for a certain amount of time, given, you know, you guys were just in business together and you guys definitely picked up some certain trade secrets and how operation is and how you can be profitable. So that is something that a non-compete clause covers. Anything else in the operational agreement or partnership agreement? I'm trying to think of everything that we put in there, questions we answered. You know, it's definitely going to be binding by the state. You know, even if someone's in a different state, it could be binded most likely by New York law. So before my phone dies, I need to wrap this up. You know, I would say tomorrow's video usually, but later's video is actually going to be on registering your business. So that's what today's videos are going to be on. I'm actually going to shoot it right now. So see you guys in a minute.